Good morning, everybody. It's Laura from McNeely Garden Studios coming to you Tuesday at 10. And I am so excited. I had such a wonderful day yesterday. If you guys saw my post, I said, I'm going to Hobby Lobby if anybody needs anything. And a few of you put in your order. It was great. We had whatever's on sale, acrylic inks. There was somebody wanted something else. But anyway, I had a really good day, and that was a good thing. So at the beginning of the year, we, hey Sheila, we had a lot of discussion about how to kind of frame your mind for the coming year. Good morning, Jamie. So one of the things that we did 3 workshops in January. And if you missed them, you can go back and watch them, but they're not going to be there long. So we did the word of the year, we did a vision board, and we did a challenge board, which was really, everybody really likes that one because that one is an interactive board that you play with all during the year. And as you accomplish things, as you read a book, as you take your walk, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you get to mark on there that you did it. And it kind of gives you an idea of where you are. It's a tracker. And we painted it to look very pretty. So you're able to see visually, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I wanted, what I promised myself that I would be doing? Because when you disappoint yourself, it's easy to just get off course. So you can see whether you're doing what you wanted to do or if you need to step it up and carry on. So that was some of the things that we did in January. We did a lot of various things in February. But the reason I brought all that up is when you get yourself in the mindset for a positive experience, then you know you're having a positive experience. Sometimes it's very difficult. Good morning, Sheila. To know that you had a good day. You know, you feel good, but what did you accomplish? So one of the things that you guys know, I have 3 favorite things, the things that I keep coming back to all the time. And those 3 things are pictures, photography. So pics, plants, and paint. And if I can work those 3 things, and Japanese food, but if I can work those 3 basic things into my day, I know I've hit all my marks. And I have several loops away from my home. I have 2 small loops in different directions, and then 1 really big loop where I can go and I can hit different nurseries where I can photograph plants and flowers that gives me inspiration for my paint. And then if you throw a trip into one of the craft stores, then that's just a bonus, right? So yesterday I got to go to, which when I say I got to go, I mean Hobby Lobby is a big deal for me. It's over an hour away. You know, I take care of my mom. There's a lot of logistics that have to go in. So I was able to get to Hobby Lobby. Across the street is Lowe's, and of course it's spring, so they've got all kinds of things. And look, I got a new container garden. I was so excited about it. So that's going to be probably not on my desk here, but it's going to be in my studio. And I've just kind of recently gotten into succulents. I never really liked them before, but they're easy to care for. They're fun. So, but I also got to take a bunch of pictures of some beautiful, colorful things. Winter is beginning to just get on out of here slowly. It keeps trying to come back and get us again, but I think it's kind of on its way out. And my trip to Hobby Lobby, I will show you a couple things I got. This year, for some reason, I have sort of gotten into neutrals. I'm a very earthy person, but I've always kind of embraced brighter colors. But this year, I just sort of have been into neutrals, and I found neutral Posca pens. So, does anybody have neutral Posca pens? Tell me in the comments. I have the regular, you know, brighter set, but I was very excited about that. I've got some really good ideas. This one was $22.99. So, hey Lori. And the other thing I got that I was so excited about was, I told my husband, I said, I got some big girl watercolors. And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, the ones that you get when you get out of kindergarten. But guess what? We're going to be using my old ones today. But I just wanted to show you, got a half pan. And if you've never gotten these before, I wanted to show you what's the deal. So you have to, they all come already, they're all wrapped. And so you have to take them all out and unwrap them. I will give you a word to the wise. I got this one for Christmas, which is all metallics. And so I opened them all up and, you know, took the papers off. I don't know what told me in my mind, you better keep those papers, you better keep them, you know, in order. So here they are. I took all the papers off. Thank goodness I kept the papers in the right order, because that tells you what they are. And so I was able to do like a Rosetta Stone, a page of colors with their names, so that I know. And that's important when you're trying to teach people things, because you can tell them the exact right color. Not something that sort of looks like this, which is fine once you have a little paint mixing experience. But anyway, so that was just kind of, those are my two purchases that I was so excited about. And I got to hit all my high notes. You know, I keep trash. I have a trash stash and look at that. That's 3 perfect lines. I might keep that and use it as a stamp. I don't know. We'll see. But, oh, and that's not all. So I got we're talking about orchids today, and I wore my flower crown with the orchid. But when I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday, I found, you know, summertime, we can't wear a big heavy flower crown. You got to have something light. So I found these. I thought they were so cute. I mean, this one's just going to be, you know, perfect for a lighter day, right? So I was happy about that. But we're talking about orchids because I'm hoping, if the weather is good, that I'll be able to, Laura says, where did you purchase these? I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, so I got all these things there. And Lowe's, I got a succulent container garden. So, but this weekend, if the weather's good, the Atlanta Orchid Society is having an extravaganza. They do it every year, and every year I put it on my calendar, and every year something happens. I have not made it yet, but I'm determined, if it's not just miserable weather, we're going to go. So, and I say that because I wanted to show you some of the things something that I have. This actually started off as a fish tank for betas, those little betas. But, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it real well, but I have my orchid in there. It's got sort of a Japanese base and top. And that little orchid has 3 little blooms left on it. It's been blooming for a long time. But what's nice about it is it's sitting in all these marbles. So it can reach down and get the water as it needs it, because you can overwater an orchid really fast. So, but the reason I bring that up is there's something really useful that every one of you has in your kitchen that is orchid related. Can anyone guess what it is? Any guesses? Oh, Lori's got an orchid that's going to bloom. So do you know what kind of orchid it is? There's Cattleya, and that's a Phalaenopsis. So we're going to paint one. And I brought this one from my mother's bathroom. It's just an artificial, but isn't it pretty? As inspiration, so we can look at it and use it as a reference. So this end of my table is all very pretty with. So Phalaenopsis. So this is what everybody has in their kitchen. It probably doesn't look like this. A friend of mine made these a couple years ago. She ordered these long, skinny, dark things are seed pods from orchids. You put them in a jar. You cover them with vodka. I was going to say Absolute, but vodka, any kind of vodka. And you let them sit for 6 months. And you know what you get? Can anyone guess? Does anyone bake? You get vanilla. Does that blow your mind? That's amazing, isn't it? And it's, when you do it like this, it's the most amazing, rich smelling vanilla. It's just incredible. And of course, you know, vanilla doesn't taste good by itself. It only enhances other things, but it smells just heavenly. So that's your lesson for today. You know what kind of orchids are and what they're used for. They really are sort of almost a weed in tropical areas. They really are prolific. They live in the crooks of trees. They're sort of an epiphyte. They don't really need a lot of dirt or caring. So it's just, they're just beautiful. Like you go to Ecuador or places like that, they're just everywhere. Costa Rica especially. So I'm going to kind of move some of these things around. I've really been working hard this weekend, and I've got a really wonderful lineup for you for this coming spring, and maybe even a surprise for this summer. So we're definitely going to go on a botanical journey with our painting, but that seems appropriate for springtime, doesn't it? So I'm going to get started, and I'll be telling you some of those cool new things as we go. Okay, so close your eyes. If you get seasick, I'm going to turn you down to my paper down here. See all my pretty orchids there in my fireplace? So, I'm going to have to move some of these things down so that you have space to look. All right. This is going to be 100% super simple. I was going to say they're called whirling butterflies too, but I think that's a different plant. That's Agara. So I'm not trying to bore you or brag on plant names. That's just kind of my thing, okay? So if I say a bunch of plant names, I'll always tell you what it is, but don't worry about it. So this is going to be super simple because we're going to use a wet on wet watercolor. And I have this traced on here very, very lightly. I do have the tracer. If you guys want the tracer, I made that for you. So if you want that, just tell me that you want the orchid tracer or something, and I'll get that to you. But can you see it? It's very lightly on there. I'm not even going to do a background. I'm going to let it be the white. And I'm thinking I'm going to do like a pink and purplish orchid, kind of like these are. But we're going to do it really loose, like I do. And I'm thinking maybe a turquoise or something container. Does anybody have an opinion on a turquoise on a container? Hey, Teresa. I have to get down here and look. Okay, so this is going to be super fast, super fun. I'm just simply, and you know, I have clean water for this part, and then, you know, my paint water for the other part. So I'm going to paint all the petal in with water. And then I'm also going to paint the center. And on this one. And then on the next one, we're going to do it the other way around. And so you can see sort of the difference, okay? So I've got the petals and the center all covered. And I think we're going to use this magenta. I just can't go wrong with this magenta. It's so beautiful. All right, so I'm going to get some on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of dot it in the center. And can you see it blooming? And you can just kind of bring it out. Now we're going to bring out the center with the pen and ink, but see how beautiful that is? And I'm going to take, I think this is too orange. I don't know. It kind of looks natural for an orchid. They don't necessarily have colors that go together. Now, this part, I'm just going to kind of dab on the edge of the water. Donna, you were asking about wet on wet. Here it is. We will definitely do some more of this. Donna's one of my members in Art and Answers, and we've been discussing some things we're going to do, and this is one of the things she wanted to learn. So we do so many different things in there. It's really fun. Okay. So it's really wet, but I'm going to try to bring it up here where you can see it. Is it focused? I think. So you can see how the color just sort of bloomed. All right. There's only 3 flowers here and a vase and a couple leaves. So I'm gonna wash my brush in that water. And this time we're just going to put the paint in the center, and then we're gonna put the water on the petals so that it will come out from the center, excuse me. I was, you know how you do. You get to thinking about stuff and you can't talk at the same time. Can you walk and chew gum at the same time? All right. So this one, the center is like down at the bottom, and you got the 3 petals up here. So I'm gonna wash that out. Get my clear water, and I'm gonna wet the petals, but I'm not gonna touch that center first yet. And you tell me, when we get done with this, you tell me which one you prefer, which one you liked watching better. And I'm not going to touch these petals together. I'm going to let them be 3 separate entities with the water. Okay. Now, you ready? Now we're going to touch this and let it bloom. Look at that. I'll move this over where you can see it better. So see how it's blooming out this time? Here I'm going to do this. It's just mesmerizing. If you want to put a little more color in here, you certainly can, and it will go right in there. So I'm going to put this line up here and let it bloom like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now to me, this looks more realistic. And that's fine. If you're going for fanciful or you're going for realistic, there's different techniques. And it just doesn't matter. There's no wrong way. But I think I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit, and I may come back with this orangey blush and put it kind of on the edges, but I don't want it to, I want that to do its thing for a moment. Okay, so we're gonna do that same one again this time. I'm gonna put this magenta in the center. And this one is sort of, the petals are sort of whirled around, so. There we go. All right, again, I'm gonna paint them, but I'm gonna leave them sort of a separate, so that there's just a tiny bit of white in between there. Does anyone know what today is? If you are Christian, you might know. If you are from New Orleans, you certainly know. Any guesses? It's a Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And so what I'm getting at is today is the last day before Ash Wednesday, which starts Lent. And that is Fat Tuesday. That's when everyone celebrates before you make a sacrifice. So that's kind of fun. And my church always has a pancake supper. Okay, so I've got those petals all wet, so here we go. Just gonna let it bloom into there. So those people in New Orleans are having a big time. They already did it this weekend, but today's the actual day. Let that one come around the edge like this. You can kind of just sort of direct it wherever you want. Since this one is whirled around, I wanted it to look more like that. Okay, so if we look at the natural one, you can see that the leaves are sort of a medium green, and the edge, the center is a little bit more, a little bit darker. So let me see if I can mix a good color, because that is certainly not it. It's getting better. I think I'm gonna put a little olive in it. Oh yeah. Okay, so that was like a spring green, a medium green, and a little olive, which made that beautiful color. And I'm just gonna do this dry, wet on dry, because I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna come back and put some more shading in the center. So tonight at the dinner table, you can dazzle your family by what you found out about orchids and vanilla. Super fun, right? You know, you also don't have to completely color things in. You notice that I deliberately left a white speck there. That's so that I have a natural highlight. And one little skinny one, because we're kind of looking at this one from the side. And I will do the stems and everything with just pen work. Oh, there's a bug down here. I forgot about it. Right down here. And they are sort of the color of the orchid, but then a little bit brown too, because there's a natural husk on there. So I'm just gonna kind of put a little color here and a little water, let it flow a little bit, and then I'll come back when it dries and I'll put the little brown. Gosh, that has a name and I can't think of what it is. Okay. So while that's drying, before I can actually do the surface and well, I could do the surface now, but before I can do the container that it's in, it has to dry a little bit because I don't want it to bleed into there. How about that? Doesn't take much. So this is what I have. It's so exciting. What's going to come later, probably in the summer or late spring. It's not going to be ready for Easter, but I'm very excited about this. And you guys tell me. I'm going to bring you back up here so we can talk while that's drying, and then we'll finish with the container. Okay? I hope I didn't make you sick. So this is going to be later in the spring or summer. Definitely going to be after Easter. There's a lot of things going on, but tell me if you're excited about this. Is that not beautiful? It's got a metallic edge. It's got some beautiful, looks like primroses and some bees. It's those natural colors I was talking about. So, what do you think? Gulf Coast, Alabama has Mardi Gras parades. Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. You don't have to, yeah, it's true. You don't have to go to New Orleans to do it. Lots of people have it. Jamie likes it. So we'll be doing this later in the spring, maybe summer. But this is what we're going to be doing soon. And this is something that you have to be registered for. It's sort of a celebration. But you have to be registered for it so that you can hear, so that you can have all the resources and stuff that you need. Thank you, Sheila. And it's got a chat with it, and it's going to be really cool. It's about using your negative thoughts to your advantage. What do we hear all the time? Oh, don't be like that. Be happy. Think only positive. Don't go there, right? Well, there's hacks. There's ways that you can psych yourself out and get out of that and use it to your advantage. And the visual anchor that I'm going to be using for that talk is called, and let me see if I can say it right, kintsugi. Kintsugi. It's a Japanese technique where they put broken pottery back together with gold or precious metals. They also use silver and platinum, but I'm just partial to gold. Are you ready? Are you ready to see the design? I talked to you about loose. Ready? Is that not beautiful? So I'm going to be getting the all the stuff together so that you can register to do this beautiful painting and hear about how to use your negative thoughts to your advantage. So, what do you think? Oh, Sheila likes it. That's good. That's good. Maybe I'll even treat myself to a bouquet so we can use it as reference, right? But these are sort of, I don't know, these are sort of orchidy too. So you guys be on the lookout. All the information is going to be in these colors and have this this design or this vase on it or whatever, so that you can recognize it, so you'll know what to be looking for. So we got this one coming and this one coming, and that's not all. I got a couple more, but I can't show you that. I can't just show you everything all at once. So, all right, so my leaves are dry. I'm going to bring you back down here. Thank you. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Teresa. I'm so glad. I hope you guys come do it. So we're going to come down here. My leaves are dry. My flowers are still a little wet. My ground area here is still a little wet. And so what do you think? I'm kind of thinking a turquoise. I always kind of put a dot on my paper over here to sort of see, and I think that'll be nice. Maybe I'll put some navy blue accents to it. And I'm just going to kind of swipe across And I'm going to leave sort of some light here. It doesn't have to be all filled in, perfectly filled in. I may come back and do some background because I like seeing the white edge, so I don't know, I may do something. But I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna put some, probably some ultramarine blue, right? Something like that. Let that natural light shine through there. And we're gonna come back and I'm gonna get this again and put a little bit darker center on these. I'm gonna put this darker kind of toward the bottom, because if you've got light coming from the top, your shadows are naturally gonna be on the bottom. All right. Also, this is gonna kind of go around here and sweep down. You have to be careful to get it into the container. Again, on the bottom. I will finish the line work and I'll post this finished piece a little later today. So you guys have got to come back and look. Tell me what you think about it, okay? How many of you are interested in doing the workshop with the kintsugi? It's going to be really fun. Okay, so I'm going to get this a little bit closer so you can kind of get an idea. See the shadows already developing on there? I'll probably put some ultramarine blue or darker blue there. I'm going to put the line work of the stems and the bud. But look at the difference between the wet on wet. Well, they're all wet on wet, but the difference between putting the paint in the center and letting it bloom into the water as opposed to the other way around. Okay? So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna bring you back up here for the last time. I try not to keep you longer than too long because I know you're busy, and I always appreciate so much you coming and taking some time out of your day to come visit with me. And I hope that you will be thinking about what your favorite things are. What is your perfect day? And start developing a loop of your own so that you can go, maybe it's to your favorite coffee shop, maybe it's to your favorite window shopping or a gallery, or just whatever your favorite things are. Just try to make a place, make a easy way to get there and squeeze them all into one day. And then take a friend, okay? So thanks so much for coming. I hope that you're going to see a lot more of me in between Tuesdays, but we're going to see, but I'm always here Tuesday at 10, okay? Thanks for coming.